New wheels of change keep rolling, e-bikes and scooters flowing. Active minds and hearts are growing. Together we keep going. Together we keep going.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're finally here, the end of the road with new wheels of change. And, well, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've really gone through everything cycling, from figuring out what all those signs mean to, like, nailing emergency braking. And it's all been about making you, the listener, a better, more confident cyclist out there.
It really is remarkable when you think about how much ground we've
I know, right?
10 modules, each one diving deep, really deep into a crucial aspect of, well, cycling.
Yeah. And the best part is you don't have to, like, keep track of it all in your head, because guess what? All this knowledge, all of it, from all 10 modules, it's available, like, whenever you need it.
That's right. The new Wheels of Change app, it's finally here. You can download it right now. It's in the Play Store. We took all the good stuff from these deep dives, polished it up, and made it super easy to use.
It really is like having a cycling expert right there in your pocket.
Exactly.
But before you go racing off to download it, let's take a little victory lap. Let's revisit some of those, like, light bulb moments from our journey. Remember? Way back when we started and we were staring down all those traffic signs.
Oh, I remember it well. It's easy to feel a bit overwhelmed, especially when you're just getting started.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But for me, what really clicked was understanding that those signs, they're not just some random rules. They're like the language of the road.
Totally. We went from those kind of mysterious caution signs to, like, those priority signs that always seem to trip people up.
Mm-hmm.
And who could forget those prohibition signs? Those are important. Remember when we were talking about those blind curves?
Oh, yeah.
That really showed, like, why you have to know what those signs are telling you.
It really is about more than just, memorizing shapes and colors, isn't it? It's about being able to anticipate, to see what's coming, and to adjust how you're riding.
Yeah. It's like the road is trying to tell you something.
Exactly.
And from those signs, we moved on to the sometimes tricky world of traffic rules.
And this is where, understanding why those rules are there, why they exist, it can really make all the difference. It's not just about following them blindly. It's about, like, realizing that those rules, they keep everyone safe.
Totally. Do you remember when we were talking about group rides?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not just about everyone pedaling together. It's a whole other level of communication, of everyone taking care of each other out there.
Exactly. It's almost like a dance, everyone moving together.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
But, staying safe while they're doing it.
Exactly. And from the rules of the road, we moved on to, well, the actual bike repair time.
Oh, yeah, I remember this one.
Before we started this whole thing, I was totally intimidated by the idea of fixing a flat tire. But once we, like, broke it down step by step,
Yeah.
it wasn't such a big deal.
It's amazing how much of a difference it makes just breaking something down, right?
Right.
And remember that feeling you got when you patched your first flat?
Oh, yeah. That felt good. Empowering.
That's the word. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive, giving you that feeling of, I can do this.
Totally.
And that feeling, it just keeps building, doesn't it? Especially when we hit Module 4 and dove headfirst into cycling safety. Now, that was interesting.
This is where things got real, friend. It wasn't just about avoiding things in your way. It was about, like, changing how you think about cycling, about being aware, being ready for anything. Remember that statistic about how most accidents actually happen in broad daylight?
Yeah, you never really think about that, do you?
I know. It really makes you think. You get comfortable, right? You think, oh, it's a nice sunny day. Nothing bad will happen. But the reality is, you always have to be paying attention, being aware. That's what keeps you safe.
Absolutely.
And speaking of being prepared, when we got to winter cycling, that was a game changer for me. All that stuff about layering those special tires, it's all about being ready for anything Mother Nature throws at you.
And having the right gear makes all of the difference.
Oh, for sure.
And speaking of gear, that leads us right into our conversation about safety equipment in Module 5.
The helmet. The trusty helmet. We didn't just talk about wearing one, though. We talked about wearing it right.
Okay.
Did you know where you put that helmet on your head can totally change how much it protects you? I didn't.
Right. And it wasn't just about helmets. We talked about lights, reflectors, making sure you're visible out there.
Yep. Seen and safe. That's what I always say.
Exactly.
And once we felt all safe and sound, it was finally time to actually, ride the thing.
Module 6, riding skills.
You'd think it would be simple, right?
You'd think so.
But there's a lot to it. we talked about everything from those gears to like riding with one hand. It's all about control.
It really is. And we can't forget about braking.
Oh man, braking. I still remember when we talked about emergency braking. Not something I want to do every day, but I'm glad we covered it. It could definitely save your life.
Absolutely.
So now I've got the skills. We're feeling good. Time to head out into the world, into traffic. That was Module 7.
And this is where, it all starts to come together. All those little things about navigating intersections, understanding how traffic flows. It's like you're finally fluent in that language of the road we talked about.
And that whole thing about trust in traffic, that was a big one for me.
Yeah.
That's about way more than just following the rules, isn't it? It's about realizing that everyone on the road, cyclists, drivers, everyone, we're all in this together. We have to be able to trust each other.
It's like this unspoken agreement, right? We all need to be predictable and we all need to respect each other.
Exactly. And from that, like, street level view of traffic, we zoomed out to the big picture, sustainability in Module 8.
This one was inspiring.
It wasn't just about bikes anymore. It was about how every choice we make, especially how we get around, it affects everything. Our health, our communities, the planet, everything.
Remember those examples we talked about, like
Yeah.
people using cargo bikes instead of cars? And cities that are designed for people, not just vehicles.
Yeah, that was cool. It really feels like we could build a better future,
Absolutely. And it showed us that sustainability, it's not just this big idea. It's about the little decisions we make every day. Like, do I hop on my bike? Or
Right.
do I start my car?
It all adds up, right?
Exactly. Those small choices, millions of people making them, that's how we make real change.
And then from that global perspective, we took it back to ourselves, our own well-being, with Module 9 all about health and sport.
That's right. Module 9, it was like a breath of fresh air, like, oh yeah, riding a bike, it's not just good for the planet, it's good for you. All those endorphins, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we're not saying you should skip therapy and just ride your bike, but like, it can't hurt, right?
It's true. And you get a workout at the same time. I
Yeah.
loved how we talked about e-bikes in that module too. Remember how we were talking about how some people think they're cheating?
Oh yeah, like it's not a real workout if you're not like sweating buckets. Exactly. But e-bikes, they're amazing. They make cycling possible for so many people who wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. Older people, people who aren't as fit, they can still experience the joy of cycling, and that's what matters.
Yeah, totally. It's not about the bike you're on. It's about getting out there and like enjoying the ride. And speaking of enjoying the ride, we finished up with Module 10, which was like a grab bag of all these extra little things that can make you a better cyclist.
It really was a treasure chest of cycling knowledge. We talked about everything from like how to ride safely around trams to why balance bikes are so great for kids.
Yeah. It just goes to show you there's always something new to learn,
Yeah.
right? Like they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single pedal stroke.
I like that.
We've taken those first few pedal strokes together with these deep dives, but now it's up to you to keep pedaling, to keep exploring. And the best part is, you don't have to do it alone. With the new Wheels of Change app, it's like having all this knowledge, all these tips and tricks right there in your back pocket. So, are you ready to take it for a spin?
I know I am. Download the new Wheels of Change app today, available now on the Play Store.
So we covered a lot of ground with those 10 modules, right?
We really did.
And now it's all in the app.
Ready when you are.
So, as we wrap up this last deep dive, what's like the one thing that really stuck with you from, everything we talked about?
For me, it's the power of, knowledge. We keep coming back to that, don't we?
We do, yeah.
But it's true. The more you know, the more you understand, it changes how you experience cycling. We saw that again and again, like understanding those traffic rules or being able to fix your own flat tire, those little things, they make a real difference.
Yeah, you're right. It's like when you know more, you worry less and you just enjoy the ride more.
Exactly. And, it makes me think of that quote. I can't remember who said it, but it's something like, every time I see an adult on a bicycle, I no longer despair for the future of the human race.
I love that. I've got to remember that one.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to sign off.
Sounds good.
To everyone listening, get out there, enjoy the ride, and don't forget to download the new Wheels of Change app. It's available now on the Play Store. Until next time, happy cycling.
New wheels of change keep rolling, e-bikes and scooters flowing, active minds and hearts are growing. Together we keep going, together we keep going.